counselors who are missing. I want to bring in Republican Congressman Buddy Carter of Georgia. And Congressman, I know your granddaughters were evacuated from Camp Mystic, but your family has still been touched with loss.
Well, that's true, Harrison. And let me just say that all of those who have been impacted by this are in our thoughts and prayers. My granddaughters were there. This is about the third year that they've been to Camp Mystic. They were there with four of their cousins. One of their cousins, Janie Hunt. This was her first year, and she was in the Bubble Inn. That was the one that had the younger kids that happened to be closer to the water. And Janie is now in heaven, and God has wrapped his arms around her. And we are heartbroken by this, but we are so thankful for all of those first responders and all of the emergency personnel. Particularly, I want to thank Scott Raskin, who is a Coast Guard swimmer who rescued my two granddaughters along with 163 other people and gave them comfort and brought them back home to us.
There are simply no words that can soothe the hearts that are broken today and the pain that the families who still don't have answers are feeling. You put it in such a poignant manner. They were young and they were closer to the river. I mean, we don't need an imagination now. We have the video and the pictures. But if you could say something to those people who are still waiting. I know Senator Cruz moments ago was struggling with that part. He said, what do you say? They want to know, where is my child?
They do, and they want closure to this. They want to know, as you say, what has happened to my child. You know, we had three sons. I have 8 grandchildren, and during that time that I first heard about this, when my son called me, I was in a parade and on July 4th. For about 8 to 10 hours, we didn't know. We didn't know about our granddaughters, and I think that's the longest 8 or 10 hours I've ever experienced in my life, and it's just such a harrowing experience. But I just want to say to all of those who are still waiting that you are in our thoughts and prayers, and we do believe in the living God, and we do believe in a God who is merciful, and I know that they're going to be okay. Congressman,
I'm with you. The whole nation is. If you'll hang tight for just 1 second, you recognized, and I wrote his name down, Scott Raskin, the Coast Guardsman who rescued your granddaughters. There's so many people out there. We have to get to know who they are and who they were. Texas Senator Ted Cruz in Kerrville just moments ago, remembering one of them.
There have been over 850 high water rescues since this flooding began. 850. You look at extraordinary stories of Eagle Scouts pulling campers out of harm's way. I was just hearing a story of one counselor whose head was right at the water holding up 2 mattresses with campers on those mattresses. That kind of courage, that kind of selflessness.
Congressman, courage, selflessness. We pray that they all make it after they help the youngest among us get to the shoreline, get to safety. But I don't want to miss the opportunity to thank them every moment. Just so much gratitude. And I know you expressed it.
I couldn't agree more, Harris. This is just such a tragedy that has impacted so many people. And I just, first of all, I would be remiss if I did not thank President Trump and the federal government for their response, and especially the Texas emergency personnel who have done just an outstanding job. And you know, I was so fortunate last night. President Trump called the father of Janie Hunt and gave just a heartfelt message to him. It meant so much. But you know, when people step up like this, that's what we find. That this is God at work, and this is God at work through people like Senator Cruz mentioned, and we just give thanks to God for this.
Congressman, blessings to you and your family. Thank you for being with me in Focus.
Thank you.